Good. So first off, you have to identify what it is before you can do. Now I look at here. I have y squared has a 9, x squared has a -1. So they're not equal, so it's not a circle. Because one's negative, one's positive, they'll be negative as a multiplication or a product. So it's a hyperbole or hyperbola. Yes. So it's going to look like, since x squared is the negative, you know your goal should look like this. Now, if you ever get y minus k squared, that's a big red alert that you're going to have to complete the square in order to get to there. So x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. What's up? For both of them, yeah. So I'm going to do the left side. I'll do it in different colors to keep track. So the left side, I'll make the y's because it's positive. So 9y squared plus 54y. I'm going to leave a gap here on purpose. X squared, I'm going to have negative x squared plus 2x. Leave a little gap here. And then I'm going to move any constant to the other side because they'll interfere with all the completed squares. So I'm just going to put -62 on the right side. Now, before I complete the square, I don't like that I have an a value for my completed square. So I'm going to factor it out first. So I have 9 on the outside, y squared plus 6y. Leave a little gap here. I'm going to factor out what's here, which is a -1. So -1, parentheses, x squared minus 2x. I made this mistake yesterday. A little bit of gap here. Equals -62. So I'm going to have to add the perfect c over here. I'll put c sub y because you might not have colors on your page. So if I add the perfect c over here, what I need to do is add it to the other side, but it's not just going to be cy. It's going to be multiplied by the coefficient in the front. So 9 a c sub y. So the c of the y's times 9. And then over here, c sub y, because you don't have colors. So I just put, you could put a little y there. What's up? I'm just showing it set up first and then we'll put it in. And then c sub x, you don't have colors, so you could put a little sub x there. But -1 c sub x, so I'm going to add that to the other side. -1 times c sub x. Again, the sub is just to help you track it, especially in your notebook. All right. The left side, we're going to simplify. We need the perfect cy. It's going to be half of this, which is 3 squared, which is 9. I'm going to simplify all the way to the end, x plus 3 squared. But because it is 9, I have to do 9 times 9 over here, which is 81. Minus x squared, or not x squared, but minus, I got to add the perfect c over here. Since it's -2, cut it in half. -1 squared, +1. So I'm just going to go x minus 1 squared. But since it was a +1, I have to put it here. So -1 times +1, which is a -1. So on the right side, you add that all together, you should get 18. Yeah, you get 18. I just added these 3 numbers together. Yeah, because this is 80, and then -62 plus 80 should be 82. 81, 9 times 9. Because the 9 is the cy, c sub y, and then 9 is the coefficient, so 9 times 9. All right, then after that, no, divide by 18, because we need to get this to 1. So divide by 18, divide by 18, yes. Yeah. So y plus 3 squared over 2 minus x minus 1 squared over 18 equals 1. This will be your front. So this, oh, let me talk about how the test will look like. You're going to have 3 questions, 1 of each, logically. Yeah, but they have a lot of parts to it. Because each... No.
So you messed one thing up.
Yeah, don't mess anything up.
Yeah. You messed one thing up. GG. You get one wrong, you was 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 3 right, you get 100. Think of it like that. No.
How's about this? We grade.
Sarah, go ahead. Hold up.
How many marks you get
That's how I do it. Yeah.
right? Hey.
Of course. When have I never gave partial credit, Sarah? Okay. Let's go. Oh, anyone still need this one? You still need it though? All right. Next one. 4x squared, y squared. These are not equal, so it's not a circle. They're squares, so it's not parabola. So they're positive. This is going to be an ellipse. So we know it's going to look like. Now, I don't know which one's A and B yet, so I'm just going to put it generically. But x minus h squared over a squared. I don't know if this is going to be a squared or b squared. Remember, in the ellipse, it's whatever's bigger is the a squared. X or y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. 1, always 1 for ellipses and hyperbolas. So we're going to reorganize. Basically the same concept. We're going to complete the square again. I'll put the x's in front. 4x squared minus 8x. You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. I won't because I don't want to mess anything up. Okay, so equals 16. But you, oh no, you would have a problem because y squared doesn't have 4. That would be very hard then to complete the square with that, which means you have to multiply with 4 and then you're back to nothing. All right, we're going to factor out what's in common. In this case, on the left, it's a 4. On the right, nothing to factor out, so that makes my life a little easier. I need a C for this, and I need a C for this.
C for that is.
This is going to be ellipse.
It's 4. Yeah, it's 6. I started thinking back. Why is it negative? Why is there negative? Yeah, why is it negative?
It is not negative 8, it should be negative 2. My bad. No, I didn't factor anything out of the y squared yet. That's why it should be positive 4. Yeah, my bad. All right. Okay, so C, when I add the C to the other side, it's going to be 4C from the x's. When I add the C over here, it's just going to be a normal C, thankfully. All right. So negative 2, cut it in half, negative 1, square, it's plus 1. So it's going to be 4. I'm going to reduce this already. X minus 1 squared, because half of that's 1. Which means over here, I'm going to do 4 times 1, or 4. Plus, we're going to add a C here, cut this in half, 2, square, 4. So there's going to be a 4 over here, which means I can reduce this to y plus 2 squared. If this one's 4, this is also 4. Add this all together, 16 plus 4 plus 4, 24. Then we have to make it 1, so we're going to divide everything by 24. So everything by 24. Final answer, this is going to be x minus 1 squared over 6. So a squared will be with the y, actually. So you can reorganize it. Because it's a plus sign, it is commutative. So not necessarily necessary to reorganize. But if you're going to graph it, maybe it's just easier for you to see it correctly. Over 1. Equals 1, my bad. All right, check it out. Then if you have any questions, please ask. This C? Yeah, I plug in the 4. Like if I were to do it, I would just go right to the complete the square. Yeah. I put the C, yeah, because I would want it A to be 1 in this case. this x squared, I want a 1 in front of it because it makes my life easier. But if I put a 4 on the outside, that affects it over here. That's why I do the c's, just to show that this 4 on the outside affects the c on the inside, or the c somewhere else. If you don't do that, you're just going to mess up. Which one here? This one, the c end up being -1 squared is 1, +1. So 4 times 1 is 4. So over here, 4 times 1 is 4, yeah. All right. Now I want to go to the next page. You want to take a picture?
I think just right now, I was trying to understand it.
Yeah, I got you. That's why I just want to go to the next one if you want to. All right, last one, and I'll leave you alone. X squared y minus 2y plus 16x plus 28 equals 0. I look at it. There's only one squared, so that must mean is a parabola. Because x is the squared one, I know it should look like x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. Parabola. So in this case, since I only have x squared, not y squared, I'm going to keep the x squared on the left and everything else on the right. This is a parabola. That helps you find the foci stuff. Tomorrow we'll do graphing. Today I just want to do the change it into a standard form. Equals, I'm moving -2y to both sides and 28 to both sides. So 2y plus 28. I did write minus 28 there too. Minus 28, thank you. Okay, so I need to put a c here to make it perfect, which means I'm going to add a c over here. Divided by 2 is 8. 8 squared is 64. So I'm going to add a 64 over here. So squared, yeah. Yeah, but this 64 is important to point out the 64 because you have to add it to the other side. Equals 2y, -28 plus 64. 60, 40, 36. Plus 36. Now, this one is slightly unique from the other ones. If you need a y minus k, but it's not squared, so you don't need to complete the square. All you have to do is factor it out. So the y minus k is by itself, or y has no coefficient. So I'm going to factor out 2, y plus 18, thank you. X plus 8 squared. It is written like that. On the test, you would continue, but. So 4p is the number here. So 4p equals 2. You could just always set it up like that, which is a half. P helps you find, if you know the vertex, so in this one, the vertex is -8, -18. And we know it's horizontal because it's x squared. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's x squared, so it's horizontal. That means this p value, which is p equals a half, I would add a p to get to the foci. So my foci would be half of this, so -7.5, 18. And I would subtract the p to get to the directrix, that dotted line that's under the parabola. So -8.5, comma 18. These don't fit in a graph. That's why I didn't want to graph these. Tomorrow I'll make ones that can fit in a graph and we can practice that.